Hey everybody, how's it going? My name's Joe. Welcome back to SNES's Life. This is recap episode number 115. That's 575 games into the Super NES library. We're going to be covering the above today. We're going to get started with Timecop. Timecop, based off of a movie, which was not a particularly good movie, turns out is actually a not particularly good game. Apparently, the clip I pulled out has me on the pause screen for a hot second here. It is a left to right action. I don't want to say platformer, but it really is kind of a platformer because you make a lot of jumps in this, and the jumping is not great. They did the whole digitized sprite work with real people thing, which looks good. The backgrounds are pretty blasé. The worlds are all also pretty blah and not particularly inspired, in my opinion. The enemy AI is awful. The enemy is very stiff. You can see them. They just kind of walk forward and they'll punch and they'll kick, and it's all pretty bad, frankly. You get a gun, not much ammo. You want to conserve it because you end up doing. I ended up discovering that you can basically slide kick most of the enemies to death until a few levels later you end up fighting robots that fly, and then you can't slide kick them to death anymore. It looked bad. It didn't. The music was okay. It played poorly. It had a lot of what felt like very BS nonsense. You die, it kicks you all the way back to the beginning of the level. The exits are it's kind of maze-like. You have to figure out where the hell the exit is to get there. It wasn't fun. I do not recommend Timecop as a movie or as a video game. I would not play it again. So yeah, take that for what it is. Next up, Super Adventure Island 2. Super Adventure Island is a great game. Adventure Island is a great game. I like both those games. Super Adventure Island 2 is interesting in a number of ways. First off, you get a world map that you get to explore. You get upgrades. You can see there, I think I have the flame sword here, maybe. I don't know. I had the flame sword and the flame armor by the end of this, by the time I was done playing. So you're gonna get different items to upgrade your character. So it's not like RPG-ish. You will find health pickups that will give you more health. It's a good game. It's not bad, and I think originally I gave it a thumbs down, but now that I'm sitting here looking at it, a little later in retrospective, I think I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. It's not a bad game. I would prefer to play Super Adventure Island over 2, just because it's a simpler, more linear experience. Like, I went into that as a platformer wanting it just to be a platformer. This is a little bit more in depth. There's some backtracking to be done in the levels. After you get extra powers, you can go back to other levels. I wouldn't call it a Metroidvania by any sense. Like, you don't have to go back to the levels to progress. You just have to go back to the levels if you want to find like all your health upgrades and shit. So the graphics are great. I think the sprite work's good, bright, colorful, wonderful looking, good music. Platform is mostly responsive. The jump's a little awkward on him, but yeah, I liked it. I had no problem putting my hour into it, and I think if you liked Adventure Islands, you'll probably like it too. I would prefer the other more basic platformer versions. But yeah, we'll give it a thumbs up. I was going to do it down, but I'm going to go up. Next up is Hagane, the final battle. This is, depending on where you look online, this was a Blockbuster exclusive, and so it's super rare and super duper expensive. It feels a lot like Shinobi for the Genesis and Master System in arcades back in the day. Now, I like the colors. I like the sprite work. The backgrounds look great. All the on-screen action looks great. Just like Shinobi, though, it is hard as balls. So you get a lot of power-ups. Lots of power-ups and weapons for you to use. You have like one clear screen. You can find more of that. You start with 3 hits. You can eventually find health capsules to give you more hits. But there is a little bit of a stiffness to his jump, so it never felt quite great. The music and sound effects were good. This game all hinges on gameplay. So it's fast, it's frantic, it's interesting, it's fun. I enjoyed it. I don't want to say it's actually hard per se. What it is bullshit. There are a lot of places in this game where the floor is gonna explode out from under you and you're gonna fall to your death. And then you have to remember where that space is to jump over it the next round through. And then 2 feet later, the floor is gonna do it again. And it does a lot of shit like that, where something comes kind of out of nowhere, and it's clearly made from the era where they expect you to die and replay the game 20 times and commit all this to memory and muscle memory. And that drives me kind of bonkers. And I get that it's an era thing. All the games in the 90s, that's kind of how they operate. That's how you got your money's worth out of a game, your hours into it, is by basically playing it over and over and over and over and over again. But it's annoying. That said, this was still a great looking and a fun to play game. It's a thumbs up. Way too expensive. I would never buy a physical cartridge of it. But Hagane, pretty solid game. Next up is Kirby's Avalanche. My wife played this with me. It is Puyo Puyo. It's a puzzle game, and it's fun. Big shock. Super bright colors, fun. You got the little Kirby walking around in the middle doing animations, climbing up and down. First player is always Kirby. Second player is one of the baddies. There is a story to it. Doesn't really matter. Everybody's basically challenging everybody to Puyo Puyo battles. There's little interstitials in single player between characters that you're going against. It's fun. It's good music. Although the music, I don't recall. So we looked in the options and there's like 10 music tracks. But we only ever heard like one track the entire time we were playing. So I don't know. We tried to like click a different one and then hit play. And didn't get anything out of it. So I don't know how the hell the music switches. We only got to, I think, level 4 in single player. And there's 16 levels, I think. So maybe we just had to get past that before the music track switched. I don't know. We enjoyed it. It is definitely a lot more combo driven than other games. Like, don't get me wrong, Tetris and Super Mario or Dr. Mario are very combo driven. But this game even more so, because the amount of garbage it throws on the opponent is just ludicrous. Like, if you get a good 4-chain drop, like, it dumps so much crap on the opponent that it's nearly impossible to recover, it feels like. It's a very, very cutthroat game, for sure. We enjoyed it. It's a thumbs up. I think if you like Puyo Puyo or puzzle games, especially against another person, I think you'll love Kirby's Avalanche. I being super basic, I'm always going to be like, give me Dr. Mario or Tetris, but that's what I grew up on. I think if you grew up in Puyo Puyo and Kirby's Avalanche, you'd probably be like, I'm all for this. And I think it's definitely worth giving a try if you're into the puzzle genre. So, and then final up is Ogre Battle March of the Black Queen. This is another game that I would never buy physically. They're way too goddamn expensive. This is a Enix-produced tactical battle RPG. So it's kind of interesting. It's not a tactical battle on any kind of grid-based system like Advance Wars or something. Or the tactics games. But it is... I mean, you can see the visuals here. I think the sprites and the cartoons and the colors and everything looks great. But you get this huge overworld map. And then I have no idea how many battles are on this thing, but I think I made it the third battle, and you haven't hardly moved on that map at all. And then you get this world map area that the actual battle's taking place in. There are these different cities, and you can deploy units full of heroes to go in like free cities, and then eventually you have to get your way to the boss city and kill the boss. And every time you get into a fight, you get a combat scene like this. Now, you're not actually controlling the combat. You can kind of give them a general strategy, like go after the leader, or go after the strong, or go after the weak. But the battle plays itself out completely on its own. You can, from this is like your battle area map. You can equip them. You can equip characters in different units with different items and weapons and cards and power-ups, and that's all good and great. I didn't mind this. I gave this a thumbs up. I am not a huge JRPG guy or RPG guy for that matter. But this game, unlike a lot of those games, didn't have any grinding per se. Now, your characters do level up throughout fighting, and of course, I only got 3 battles in. But it felt much more it felt almost more like a real-time strategy game, an RTS, which I like RTSs, like StarCraft, Warcraft, Command and Conquer series. This felt a little bit more like those, kind of mixed with the JRPG anime-ish kind of look and feel. I could see the people getting into this game. I understand why people like it. I don't think it's for me just because it feels a little like long. Like it feels like you would be doing the same thing. Oh, you know, at some stage, it goes to these battle screens, and you've got enough units on the map that it's battle. You get back to the map 3 seconds later, battle. You get back to the map 3 seconds later, battle. And it's just like, give me an auto battler, please. Like when 2 units hit each other, either ask me if I want to play that battle or see it, or just auto resolve that damn thing. Because at some stage, I'm just like, this is the same thing over and 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 over. And that's why I hate JRPGs. I hate grinding. I hate having to sit in an area fighting the same dude over and 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 over. You know, so it is what it is. But I did enjoy my time with it. I thought it was fun. I liked the idea of moving the units around the map, trying to come around and find the hidden cities, and yeah, so I dug it. Again, way too expensive for a physical copy. I don't think it's that good. I don't think any game's that good, really. So there you go. 4 thumbs up in a set of 5 games is a damn rarity anymore. So that's exciting. But that's it for Recap 115. Thank you guys for sticking with us, of course, here on YouTube. And, of course, anybody who watches us on Twitch. We appreciate you guys. And we'll see you next time on the next recap. Have a good one.